Welcome to Crocodile MTG, your home of competitive, constructed play in the modern, standard, and legacy formats. Today's video was brought to you by all our wonderful sponsors, affiliates, and patrons. Thank you so much for supporting the Crocodile MTG channel, and we hope you enjoy today's video. So maybe I just cut a forest to play the Rugged Highland. We're going to go ahead and play this deck now. Hopefully we can get there. Hopefully it's aggressive enough and powerful enough early on. The big thing we got to watch out for is flooding on non-creature spells, because we do have 9 of them. And that's pretty rough for being a red-green deck. Oh, this hand is good. Alright, we're going to go ahead and keep this. We have a pretty good curve out too, and we also have Rugged Highlands in our hand. So we're going to get to just play that on turn 1. Play Sentinel on turn 2, probably get to start swinging in, and then just play Centaur. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and start with Rugged Highlands and pass the turn. Alright, we're going to play Sentinel here and pass it back. And our opponent's going to gain a life here, probably not play anything, if I were to guess. Yeah, I'm just going to move the combat here and attack. And then after that, we have Growth Cycle and Feral Invocation for the turn after. So this is going to be pretty good. We're just kind of on the beatdown plan at the moment. We're swinging for 5 next turn, potentially more. We're going to swing with everything here. And then if our opponent doesn't block, then we're going to play out Centaur. And if our opponent does block, then we're going to just boost it with probably Feral Invocation. Alright, our opponent chooses not to block here. So I'm just going to play out another Centaur and pass the turn back. And I feel like our opponent's going to have a hard time dealing with this. Alright, there's Scry Octopus, which is fine. And again, just making one of our creatures into a 5/5 is just going to be pretty powerful. Our opponent chose to, what they choose to do, pull 1 card on top, 1 card on bottom. And again, we're going to move the combat here and swing both, or all 3. And depending on how our opponent blocks, depends on our... Alright, so I'm just going to go ahead and put Feral Invocation on this and make a 4/4. Alright, our opponent's going to get to gain 1 life because a creature died, but because it wasn't an elemental, they're not going to be able to put a 1/1 counter on Overgrowth. Alright, there's another elemental. Putting a card on, a counter on the first one. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and save it here. So our opponent's not going to be able to Rabid Bite our Sentinel. So our opponent's probably going to have to block... Well, they're going to have to block at least one of these. We'll see if they block both. Our opponent with 2 cards in hand. Alright, our opponent blocks here and here. So our opponent's going to lose their board. And now we're just going to get to play Mammoth Spider and probably sit back a little bit. We're probably just going to push through as much damage as we can next turn. Unless they play like a 3/4 or bigger. Search your library for up to 2 creature cards with different names. Put them into your hand. Alright, so if we draw any haste threat, we're going to be able to get in. We're going to get in for 6 this turn. And they're going to have to get 2 creatures. And so this is instant speed. I don't know if I like this play, to be honest. This is instant speed, so unless they're using this now, I'm not sure the purpose. We'll see what they get, though. They do have to reveal them. And then they do go into, immediately into our opponent's hand, as opposed to on top of their library. Alright, there's a healer, which they're going to play, and then a Thrashing Brontodon. So that's pretty good. But again, we're just going to move the combat and attack with both. And our opponent's most likely going to block here. So Healer of the Glade is going to definitely buy them some time. So our opponent might be able to stabilize here some. And we're just going to pass the turn back. Hopefully we draw something next turn. Alright, there's Thrashing Brontodon from our opponent. And there's our Menacing Raptor. So this is going to be pretty good. So I'm going to go ahead and play this, and then I'll wait till next turn. Our opponent definitely has to draw another creature and able to survive. And if they don't, then this Menacing Raptor is going to run away with the game. And we'll see if we can pressure them out of the game or if they just win here. Or if we can just win here. Alright, unsummon on the Raptor, so it's going to buy them a turn. We're going to go ahead and play out this land and play out the Raptor. And again, I'm just going to patiently wait, pass the turn back to our opponent. There's no point in swinging yet. Our opponent has one card in hand. They're most likely top decking, just like we are. And our opponent just has to keep finding ways to block. So they did find a creature here, which is pretty good. And now what we're going to do is swing with Mammoth Spider and Predator and see how our opponent blocks. Because the thing is, if they need to double block the our Predator, then they're going to lose probably 2 of their creatures. Or I guess they just lose 1. Sure, I'm going to take out the Brontodon. But the thing is, now I'm just going to play out the Silverback Shaman, and it has Trample. And so our opponent's most likely not going to be able to get through this. Again, they have to find something to buy themselves a turn or 2. And us just having all this mana is pretty... Oh, okay, they have Flooded Tears. Alright, that's pretty good. So, start with a 5-drop. I'm probably going to play out the Shaman here, but then I also get to play the Courser. And our opponent's going to get to play the Octopus again, because I think that's what I left in their hand. And then they're going to get the Scry too. So our opponent's not dead yet, which is good on them. Alright, they do decide to concede here. Alright, going to the sideboard, I could see bringing in Tectonic Rift here. They didn't seem to have too many flyers. They definitely seem to have quite a few ground creatures. Leyline of Abundance isn't gonna work here. What do I take out though if I bring in that? Probably Act of Treason. I didn't see anything I'd want to take from them at the moment. If I were to... No, I think Act of Treason's the correct cut here. I think Tectonic Rift is pretty good. If they're pushing 3 colors, I could always Tectonic Rift one of their mana sources as well. It may be right to have this over that, have Tectonic Rift over Act of Treason in the main. Maybe I'll switch that in between rounds here. Just a quick reminder why we wait as well, that we are live on Twitch recording this episode today. So if you'd like to figure out when we are live, please head over to twitch.tv/crocodilemtg and follow that channel. That way you get alerts whenever we do go live. So we're on the draw here. This is a pretty good hand, but we're going to mulligan it just because we don't have a lot of mana sources. we are going to keep this hand. I think I'm going to put Feral Invocation on the bottom here. And pass the turn. And then between 2 Gifts of Paradise, I'm hoping to mana ramp our way up to victory. And having 2 Silverback Shamans right off the bat definitely feels pretty good. And again, our opponent doesn't know our deck, so they have things like Piranha, which Piranha is just not going to do anything. Even if they have 2, it just doesn't feel like it's a very good card against us. Hopefully they don't have counter magic, I guess is my only one concern. Alright, there's a Overgrowth Elemental. Alright, and now I can just play out a Shaman here. And next turn I can play out a second Shaman. And even if our opponent has Unsummon here, I don't think we're in a bad spot at all. We're sitting currently at 23. We have way to gain 3 life in our hand. We also have a way to remove a card. So I think I want to go ahead and block here. I don't see it as a disadvantage. We're gonna get to kill one of their creatures. They're gonna we get to draw a card, and they are gonna, like, even though they get to put a card in their hand, I don't think that's a bad thing. So the question is here, do we want to reduce the ashes this turn, or do we want to play another Silverback Shaman? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we're 1 mana short from playing Gift of Paradise and playing Silverback Shaman. I don't hate just Tectonic Rifting here. Not Tectonic Rifting, reducing to ashes the Overgrown Elemental. Maybe I should just play Shaman first. And I'll pass the turn back. Alright, they had the Unsummon, unfortunately. Okay. So at least they used the Unsummon on Shaman here, and they didn't use it on their creature when we reduce the ashes. So I'm probably just going to reduce the ashes next turn. And if we draw a mana source, we get to play Gift of Paradise and Tectonic Edge. I keep saying Tectonic Rift. Reduce the ashes is what I'm trying to say. So now they have the Octopus, and what they do? Put 2 cards, 1 card on top, 1 card on bottom. Alright, so I think I'm just going to play out our Gorilla here. Our Gorilla friend. And pass the turn. Because if now they have to swing... Alright. That's annoying, but not terrible. If we draw a land, we can just... I think I'm going to get rid of this elemental. It's proven itself to be pretty annoying. Alright, so now I'm going to go green, green, red. Play out Gift of Paradise. Yeah, I think I'm just going to reduce the ashes this. I'm tired of it being on the battlefield. So we're going to get hit for 3 here, but then we get to play Silverback Shaman out with protection. We can also play Keldon Raider, or we could just play this Giant Hydra. I think I vote for playing the Giant Hydra. Actually, undo, cancel. I think I'd rather play out the lesser threat than yeah, because if they have removal spells, I'd rather have them use this on the Shaman than on the Hydra. So I'm definitely going to pressure our opponent, but I'm not against making a what's it going to be? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm not against making it 12-12 12-12 here. Alright, I'm fine with this. I'm going to make a 12-12 here now. Don't mind me. So this is actually going to be a 6-6. I think I'm fine with fighting the mammoth spider. Yeah, I think I'm going to use this as a removal spell just to be safe. And then we have the pressure on our opponent for sure. So I'm not too worried about that. We are sitting at 12. We've gained 6 life this turn. Frostlink's going to come down. Yeah, that's part of the reason I didn't want to put all my eggs in one basket, as they say. Alright, and again, I have plenty of cards left over in my hand. Unfortunately, we can't play 2 mammoth spiders this turn. I'm going to move the combat first and attack. And next turn, they're just dead unless they find something. Alright, and we'll pass the turn back. If they don't win the game this turn, I'm just going to Tectonic Rift next turn. And then they can't block our creatures. I can actually Tectonic Rift and play... and keep back the Mammoth Spider. So +3/+3, 6. Yeah, I have exactly lethal. Even if they have one removal spell for something, I have exactly lethal because I can Gigantic Growth the Mammoth Spider and Tectonic Rift one of their green sources, and then I can just get them because they can't block. All right, return up to 3. Okay, so they have actually better. Return up to 3 creature cards to their hand. Alright, that was pretty good. Alright, now we're gonna get to play out 2 of our threats though. So I'm gonna start by swinging 6. Our opponent's going to take 3 here. Alright, I'm going to pay 2 green and play out this Mammoth Spider. And then I'm going to play Keldon Raider and discard, I guess, this other Mammoth Spider. Maybe I should have played the Silverback Shaman. Alright, there's a Pulse and Marasa, and I don't think our opponent's going to win this game. So we have Growth Cycle on the battlefield. So the thing is, if they play Frostlinks here, and then they swing in, and we block with Keldon Raider. Yeah, so what they have to do here is play. So, okay, I'm lucky I didn't miss lethal here for not playing the Shaman. Our opponent's gonna play Frostlinks here. They're gonna have to keep the Hydra tapped. Yes, but because I have Tectonic Rift in our main deck here, we're gonna blow up. Yeah. All right, that's just gonna be game. We're gonna blow up their land here. They're not gonna be able to block. We're gonna Growth Cycle. And that's going to be game. Good game, opponent. Thank you so much for watching. Please go hit that like and subscribe button if you enjoyed today's video. For your custom playmats, mouse pads, and more, head over to Inked Gaming. Use promo code crocodilemtg10 to receive 10% off your order. Today's video was brought to you by all our wonderful sponsors, affiliates, and patrons.